it's time for some more Elden Ring. I'm still stuck on this boss. This is my 53rd attempt on Radahn. I can pretty much get past phase 1 very easily at this point. Phase 1 is really not hard at all. Phase 2 is insanely hard compared to phase 1. And the way it's going right now, this boss does have potential to be harder than Millennia, but I'm not sure. I have gotten him pretty low. I want to say pretty low, but I got him to like 25 or 30% HP. Is the lowest I've gotten him. And that was only when I used Lord's Divine Fortification, which protects against holy attacks in the second phase. I'm assuming that's holy attacks. One thing I did forget about though was this talisman that I got from America's village, the shaman village, which was the golden braid. And I remember when I saw this, I was guessing this was going to be used for the final boss. I'm assuming it probably is meant for the final boss. So it boosts holy damage negation by the utmost, which is definitely going to be useful against this boss for the second phase. Now the problem is I don't know which. I think the best thing to replace here would be Millicent's prosthesis because I don't really need a dex. Raise attack power with successive attacks would probably be better if it was Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, which I don't have. So I'm going to try to replace this with the holy damage one, see if that makes a difference. 53rd attempt. I'm just gotta try to keep learning this second phase because that is probably the hardest part. If he has a third phase, then it is probably 100%, but or like 90% sure. I'm 90% sure it's gonna be harder than Millennia, because there's no way this thing can have a third phase. If they do a third phase, I would guess it would be easier, like maybe just Mikola alone. The thing is, I don't know what's gonna happen to Mikola once we beat Radahn, so there could be a third phase still. Who knows? All I know is this fight is definitely very hard. The hardest in the DLC by far. It's not even close. I beat all the other bosses in like 15 tries or less, except Bill, because I went there pretty underleveled. But this is definitely taking me a lot longer. So I found out that move right there, you can definitely roll. I've always just been letting myself get hit by it, but it does take away a good amount of your HP. Probably just better to roll if I can. Sometimes it's hard to tell if he's doing that or the launch forward, but I think I'll learn it pretty fast. That's okay. That's where I should have rolled right there. That's the forward. So when you put the swords up, it's going forward. I think I got it. Now I mean to press L1 there. Second phase. I'm gonna run out of stamina. This is not good. Couple scary moves, not gonna lie. This one you gotta run left. You get a free hit after it though. Okay, you cannot be inside that or you will. That move is also pretty scary. This talisman is pretty good though, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely helping. I can notice not taking nearly as much damage from those Gotta delay the roll on that at the end. Yep. Alright, that's the lowest I've gotten him probably. His talisman is making it much easier, but it's still pretty hard. I think if there's a third phase, then there's no way you can. It's very hard to beat without that talisman. I was struggling to get his health below like 40%. That was terrible timing. Um, so I know sometimes when you go second phase, he doesn't do that massive attack that he does always at the beginning of second phase. He does that like 90% of the time, but sometimes I think if I'm really quick and run to him and hit him fast enough, he can change that attack into something else, which most of the time when that happens, I do mess it up because I have no idea what he's about to do. I've seen him do like 3 other attacks at the beginning of the second phase, but then he always ends up doing that beam attack eventually, and he can also do it multiple times, which is kind of scary. Should have rolled there. That one attack that he hit me with right before this one was pretty tricky as well. I don't know how to dodge that fully. I guess I just gotta delay my roll on the last hit, but that combo is... it does a lot of damage if you get hit by it. I wonder if I can stack Lord's Divine's Fortification with the Talisman. I probably can. So that might actually be pretty useful if I can do that. for the second phase. Maybe like at the beginning of second phase. Still don't know what this grab attack does. I'm assuming it makes me take less damage or makes me deal less damage, but no idea. That's third phase, that's third phase. Why is there third phase? Oh my god, I knew it. Of course it's gonna be third phase. And I haven't seen any new attacks. Maybe that's a part of second phase. I'm probably dead here, yep. Alright. So he does have kind of a third phase. I think if you get him below 30%, he probably does that Meteor thing. Same as the first Radahn fight. But I didn't see any new moves. I'm kind of... There's probably some more moves he has after he does that. I'm not even sure if Golden Vow was... actually, Golden Vow is definitely helping me. Flask. like that's... He's doing something different. Should be good though, should be good. Might have popped that a little too late. The fact that there's a follow-up on everything. He's not even halfway. Okay, this one's pretty easy to dodge. You just go here, delay the roll. Okay, maybe not. That's the one move that I always get hit by. I have to delay my last roll on that one. Are we dead here? Yep. Alright. 57 attempts. Going to 58. Now, if he does only have one health bar, I don't know if he's... I wouldn't say he's harder than Melania, because Melania is like that waterfowl. You have to... It takes a long time to learn how to dodge that properly, fully. And also the 2 health bars, plus being able to steal your life, is a lot harder, I think, than Radahn. Radahn's pretty much just a ton of really hard to dodge attacks, crazy combos in the second phase where you don't even have a chance to heal. But I mean, also if there is another phase after that, the health bar, then this is 100% the hardest boss. Alright. Should have rolled to the left there, but yeah, that move is pretty easy to dodge, I'm not gonna lie. It does a ton of damage, but if you get caught by that, you're pretty much dead. But it's one of the easier moves to dodge for sure in this fight. I still don't know how to avoid getting hit by all those flashes when he comes at you, but the only one I know how to dodge is when he comes from the left to the right, and then you just roll left, and it pretty much dodges it. But the ones where he comes from the sky are kind of hard to dodge. A little late on that. Yeah, this one I can dodge. The other ones I have no idea how to dodge. Like this. I guess I have to run to the left or right. Please don't attack me. That one you just roll in. Okay. This move is crazy. Okay, do that again. Next time he does it, I'm popping Lord's Divine. Oh wait, I missed. Just free hit. Oh, okay, I'm getting slammed here. Yep. Barely got out of the grab attack. This is easy, this is easy. Still somehow got hit by the last one. I don't know how I'm alive. He's probably ready to the Meteor soon. Yep, that would have killed me anyways. Still does a ton of damage on the physical attacks. And the holy attacks are now a lot easier because of the Talisman and the Lord's Divine Fortification, but physicals still do a ton of damage. I think I need to pop Lord's Divine Fortification twice. So as soon as I use it once, I'll probably drink a magic flask. Find it sometime to drink one. I can also run to the left for this side. Just gotta roll perfectly. Not paying attention to that, but I didn't get hit for much. First time I've died to first phase in a minute. At least should have healed. Officially at 60 attempts now. Melania took me around 100 plus. Ishin took me 100 out, so Melania was like 150 plus. This guy's at 60 currently, the third most attempted boss for me in any Souls game. Actually, I would say Genichiro is probably up there as well. Genichiro's first time was a skill check for sure. Can't be getting hit by those. I wonder if I should light roll too. I might make this fight a bit easier, but I just want to beat him with this armor set, so I don't really care. Plus, I have dual halberds, so I don't know if I can light roll yet. Completely messed up. Two flasks gone. I can probably. If you get hit by that, you are getting destroyed. Somehow got hit by that. Yeah, I might be cooked here. Yep, definitely dead here. Didn't get to use Lord's Divine. Still haven't gotten him below 25% since that one attempt. If he does have a third phase, I'm pretty much cooked. It's just that second phase, he's very aggressive. Yeah, my damage is like very high and I'm still Still barely touching him in that second phase. Sometimes he does that follow-up. I think it's if I'm a little too close to him, he'll do that. Could probably swap this out for something else, but don't really know what else I need. Maybe I can change my flask, but I almost killed him that one time. I feel like I can do it. Just need to learn his, because he has so many different moves in phase 2, you gotta learn all of them.
promise you a 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
Please, please don't be a third phase, fourth phase, whatever. Let's go. Let's go. That was by far the hardest boss in a DLC. It's not even close. Um, got him on a 78th or 79th attempt. I would say that's a probably third hardest boss in the whole series, in all of FromSoft games. Third hardest, definitely top three. That's like guaranteed top three. I don't think I struggled that much on the boss. Yeah, pretty much since Millennia. Millennia was. I still think Millennia is harder. I know people are saying this boss is harder than Millennia. I think it might have been my build that made him easier. So I could definitely see it being harder than Millennia still, for people who are not, strength builds, not dealing as much damage, because he has a ton of HP, especially in the second phase. So this could definitely be a boss that's harder than Millennia. Probably for most people, I would say, because that second phase is just not easy at all. But the thing that makes Millennia so hard is 2 health bars. If this guy had 2 health bars, this would be way too hard. But yeah, Millennia, she can take your HP and 2 health bars. That is what makes, I think, Millennia the hardest boss for me. Personally, for me, I struggled way more. It took me 150 attempts. But when I fought Millennia with this build, it only took me like 10 attempts. So it could be the build, to be honest. But again, I've fought Millennia so many times now that it doesn't matter. I can probably kill her with any build. But this guy, on the other hand, I don't think I can do that again. At least not right now. I'm going to have to learn that fight a lot more in the other builds. But you get Remembrance of a God and a Lord. So you get Mikola and Radahn's Remembrance, I think. And this area, I mean, this is the story trailer that we saw with all those corpses on the wall, the walls of corpses. Pretty much where the Erdtree was formed by America, where she formed her order, and the Elden Ring. And I wonder what the ending of this DLC is, because there's a Remembrance as a final boss for sure. There's nothing else, I'm guessing. Oh, there's also an item here. You get a nice emote. Let us go together. I gotta say that boss fight was one of my favorite boss fights in the whole game, to be honest, to learn and to do. Touch memory. I'm guessing that's the ending right there. Yeah, one of my favorite boss fights for sure. In the DLC, I would probably say Mesmer, this fight, Bale, Midra was also pretty fun. Or probably those are probably my most favorite fights. Not in any order, but I don't know if I like this guy better than Mesmer. I think Mesmer I gotta play with other builds to see. So you can actually go up there. But it's so sick that you can see this in this arena while you're fighting him. I'm just really excited to play through this DLC all over again and again with different types of builds. Damn, we're in the arena, what a fight. I was not expecting there to be a bit of a third phase, to be honest. He did have that one attack where he comes from the sky, and if you don't run away, you're pretty much dead. So that was a very tough attack as well. But man, that second phase was very hard, I'm not gonna lie. I barely got out of there. How many flasks did I have? And no flasks at all. So I guess the only thing left to do now is touch the memory and see what the ending is of the DLC. Oh, there's a grace right here as well. Level up before I do that. I gotta say now that the DLC's over, I mean, there's probably a couple caves, maybe 3 bosses that I missed in total. But now that it's over, easily my favorite DLC FromSoft has ever made. It's pretty much a new game. I would say this does top Bloodborne DLC for me, and the Ring City and Ashes of Ariandel. I mean, even if you combine Ring City with Ashes of Ariandel, I would say this DLC is still better. More content, it's pretty much a full game. You get 50 hours of content. Let me see how many hours I actually have. Man, I still haven't done everything, not gotten all the talismans, which I'm going to do right after this. On my own time, I'm probably going to get all the items. But 204 hours, I started at 158. So that was about 46 hours right there of just peak, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Every single area was peak, every boss was peak. There's too much stuff to do here. This map doesn't look very big, but when you actually explore it, it's like very vertical. It's very sick. Oh, one more thing I do have to do, actually talk to Saint Trina after the ending. I assume I'll do that. Or actually, I can see if she has anything to say now, in case the ending completely resets everything. Yeah, but even as someone with a ton of strength, that guy was still very hard. He wasn't taking much damage at all. Let me read this remembrance. Remembrance of Radahn, Consort, and Mikola. Unit to the Scatter Tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked. Yeah. In their childhood, Mikola saw in Radahn a lord. His strength and his kindness stood in stark contrast with their afflicted selves, and so Mikola made his heartfelt wish that Radahn would one day be his king consort. Before going into his DLC, this was something I was not expecting at all. Now, I knew I wanted Mikola to be a boss fight, but Radahn and Moog being so heavily involved, I did not expect that to be the case in a DLC at all. Until I talked to Freya and then Ansbach, and then after that I was like, yeah, like they were pretty much telling you right there that Radahn and Mikola are doing something in some way. They would be the final boss. But seeing Mikola like that in the second phase, literally riding on his back, is something I was not expecting either. Kind of reminds me of the Twin Princes for some reason. But yeah, that was a sick fight, I'm not gonna lie. It would have been sick if we fought Mikola himself, a one-on-one. But the fact that you can fight Prime Radahn, I mean, a lot of people, obviously, after beating Radahn, I mean, they nerfed him and then I think they buffed him again in the base game. But Radahn was a lot of people's favorite fight, and he had one of the best, lore lores of any demigod, to be honest. And everyone always talked about how powerful he was in his prime before he fought Millennia, and so they really allowed you to fight him in his prime for the DLC as a final boss, which I think was a pretty sick idea. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that DLC 10 out of 10. Like that's just easy 10 out of 10. I can still see people fighting here. So many bloodstains, but 10 out of 10. Best DLC from Soft, best DLC in any game, to be honest. Uh, 46 hours for me, and I still have to do so much more. It's probably gonna be 60 to 70 hours by the time I'm done getting all the items and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, it's basically a full game at that point. Like you can finish Bloodborne's entirety in that much. And there's another item as well here. There's a bunch of items actually. Tioli's Hidden Needle, Tioli's Mask. Also, Tioli also dies, I guess. I didn't summon them. I'm gonna probably check out their dialogue in like a future playthrough or something, if they have any. And then Ansbach as well. So they both end up dying in the fight. And you get his scythe as well, and his incantation. Cleaves through enemies with Bloodflame Blade, summoned from the side of the hand. This would be very sick for a bleed build. Incantation of Ansbach, Pure Blood Knight, produces a Bloodflame Blade from the side of the hand, then lunges at enemies to cleave through them. Charged to increase the number of slashes, markedly different from the finessed swordplay of the Dynast. So they're talking about Moog. This is an aggressive last resort of an incantation that gave rise to Ansbach's fearsome reputation. Signature weapon of the Pure Blood Knight Ansbach, viciously keen and slender scythe, made for combat. The obsidian edge relies not upon trickery to fulfill its violent purpose. Through skill alone, the wielder can rip and rend through foes. This seems like a pretty sick weapon as well. Sowing blossoms of red upon the battlefield. Unique skill, dynastic sickle play. Very sick weapon. Might do a Ansbach build or a Moog kind of build. And his mask doesn't do anything. Oh, it does enhance dynastic skills actually. It's pretty sick. So we probably want to use that with the Scythe and Incantation. And then Tiolier stuff as well. The dark attire of those who wield poison in secret. The silver hair is arranged in the same style as Saint Trina's, increasing arcane. This buffs your arcane. Additionally, countless needles are sewn into the exterior, apparently for a talismanic effect. Silver hair is arranged. Same thing. Just once the Olier was granted a sweet repose uh, of velvety sleep, and the remainder of his days would be spent attempting to recapture it. And then you get Dioli's hidden needle weapon, which is a fist, one of those fists that trick weapons that transition into a sword. It's a sleep weapon as well. That's pretty sick. Definitely want to do a Saint Trina build. So many different builds I want to do now. Concealed weapon used by Tiolier of a design generally favored by poison wielders for dark and subtle purposes, like Saint Trina who blossomed in the deep purple garden. A rich poison is secreted from within, which sends its victims into an eternal sleep. Sleep evermore. Yeah, so eternal sleep I think is a new uh, status effect. It's like a better version of sleep. And this fight before the final boss was also very sick, where you get all these NPCs, all of Mikola's followers, you gotta fight them. Very sick, I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if that changes if you end up doing Freya's questline instead of Ansbach. Very sick. What a boss, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely is in my top 5 boss fights in all Souls games. It was just really sick. Like the second phase where he does that kind of, like the different frames, those attacks are just so sick to look at. Alright, so now I got the Grace here. What is this called? Gate of Divinity. This is a Gate of Divinity apparently, where the Erdtree was formed. I guess I can go back to Saint Trina. Now, still need to watch a bunch of lore videos and kind of understand how this all, like what's really going on here with Saint Trina and Mikola. But Saint Trina is telling us to kill Mikola, obviously, in the DLC, which is not something I was expecting. And Mikola pretty much just abandoned everything. Abandoned Saint Trina, left behind everything to do what he did. Saint Trina is dead now, it seems like. Because we did kill Mikola, so I guess that means... Yep, and you can see the head and the arm on the floor that fell from the middle. Such a sick design for Saint Trina as well. The fact that it's literally just sitting here in the DLC, it's so sick. Okay, so now I got that. Let me read that. Saint Trina's Blossom, it's a talisman? Or no, I don't think it is. I don't know what this is. Saint Trina's life withered and fell as fleeting as the seasons. At her last, she left a single water lily, slightly boosts max FP. Despite the velvety purple hue, the flower is in no way poisonous, it merely blooms in quietude. So what exactly is this talisman, I think? So I already got this one. It's not a talisman, I don't know what that is. It doesn't say talisman, but... maybe it's a key item that as long as you have in your inventory, just boosts your thing. Or I gotta use it at a site of grace, I have no idea. I think it might just be like something that's in your inventory, so now that you've done the DLC and you've done Saint Trina questline, you just permanently get a slight FP boost, which is pretty sick, if that is the case. So it should be in key items, I think. Also, the music in this area is going so hard right now. Pretty sure this music wasn't here before I beat the game. Just 10 out of 10 DLC. Everything about this DLC is just amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I do think the DLC was much easier than I expected. I think for heavy builds, the DLC is much easier because the bosses have so much HP and you can just stun them like crazy. Makes it a breeze, but still for me, like, there wasn't a single boss. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 bosses that took me like less than 10 attempts, which was like, the knight over there, pretty easy boss. The finger boss, pretty easy. Meteor. But damn, that is literally it for the whole DLC. I guess now the only thing left to do is touch the, or actually check out the remembrance. And then I'll touch the memory and see what that does. And get the cutscene. Wonder what the ending is going to be for that. Oh, and you get Prime Radahn's armor. Yeah, it's so sick. I'm going to read all the description on this as well. Let's see what this remembrance gives you. So you can get both of his swords separately. Then the Light of Miquella, which is I think that attack that he does in the beginning of second phase most of the time. 72 faith, damn, that is a lot of faith. Great Sword of Radahn, Light and Lord. So just duplicating this is definitely worth it because 3 things here, so I'm glad I left that one duplication thing for this. Great Swords of Black Steel wielded by Radahn in his youth. A pair of weapons decorated with a lion mane motif. These were in his possession immediately before his triumph over the stars. The swords of a lord. So immediately before he took over the stars, the swords of a lord who does not rely on physical strength and gravity alone. Swords of a lord who does not rely on physical strength and gravity alone. Which I mean, past his prime, he pretty much did only rely on his size and his gravity magic, because he was pretty much just, yeah, Malenia just destroyed him. And he was also cursed with the giant curse, I think. Lightspeed Slash. Assume a luminous form and leap forward to deliver a downward slash at the speed of light. Now I wonder if you get his like little frame flash attacks. Because if you do, that's so sick, I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely doing that build next if that is the case. This attack will be followed up by an additional light attack, a charge to increase power of the skill and the number of follow-up attacks. And this one is the same thing, just a different skill on it. You get Promise Consort. Imbue the 2 greatsword with the Light of Miquella, then deliver a slashing attack accompanied by columns of light. Additional input allows for up to 2 follow-up attacks. Charge to increase power and the number of follow-up attacks is pretty sick. Yeah, so I'll get I guess I'll get this one first, and then I'll duplicate that and get the other one. Let's use the armor pieces. Golden Greaves, worn by Radahn in his younger years, worn by a fierce lion. When Malenia, Blade of Miquella, let the raw flower blossom in Aeonia, Radahn heard a murmur in his ear. Miquella awaits thee, a promised consort. When Malenia let the raw flower blossom in Aeonia. So was Malenia like helping Radahn, or trying to get Radahn to become Miquella's consort? Because I don't think Radahn definitely didn't want to be Miquella's consort. I think he was either forced or something. When Millennium, yep, same thing. The golden gauntlets worn by Radahn. Proudly adorned with heroic red accents, it is fitting attire for a lion. Yeah, so Miquella pretty much abandoned everything, because Malenia was waiting for Miquella. So I wonder if, Miquella just completely abandons Malenia, left her rotting there in the arena where you fight her, and the Erdtree pretty much, and Yeah, he pretty much just abandoned everything. I'm gonna try out this sword real quick before I do the ending. So that's a Star Scourge one. Not nearly as cool as this one, I'm assuming. I can't wield that, I need more int and dex. But damn, these look so sick, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, so you also have they are two-handed weapons as well. The only thing is, I wonder if you can use the other ones in the other hand. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't use the skill on it. Pretty similar basic moveset to the other one, the Star Scourge one. But I gotta see that L2. I think it's definitely very sick. Yeah, so that's the ending. It's not what I was expecting at all. Not to watch a ton of lore videos now. Just completely so crazy with Vati video videos on this. So where was it? Divine Gate? Gate of Divinity? Now just touch the memory and that's the last thing left to do in this arena. That's Mikola.
I'm going to be a god. If we honor our part of the vow, promise me you'll be my consort. I'll make the world a gentler place.
Damn. So that cutscene we saw a bit of in the story trailer for the not the story trailer, the launch trailer for the DLC. Which that's the only scene I didn't watch, but I saw like the beginning of it. I saw Mikola sitting in that area. I just didn't watch the whole thing because of spoilers, but damn, that's really it. You just get a cutscene. I wonder if there's anything else you can do here. So yeah, Mikola was really closely related to Radahn, or really wanted Radahn to become his consort. Who could have expected that before the DLC? The circlet of light which adorned Mikola's head as he returned in divine aspect, it has begun to fade into nothingness. Slightly boosts int, faith, and arcane, while also boosting the power of Mikola's light. So I'm assuming that's that incantation. The circle was to be the very foundation upon which Mikola's age of compassion would be built, should it have ever come to pass. So again, just a item. I still don't know what Mikola's Great Rune did. Yeah, that item, Saint Trina's and Mikola's thing, they both have a weight on it when you look at it, but it doesn't tell you what it is, so I'm guessing it just stays in your inventory permanently. Maybe this armor piece. Okay, they are helmets. That makes a lot more sense. Let's see what that looks like. I can hardly see myself, but yeah, you basically get a circlet. I'm gonna take all this armor off. Actually, I'm gonna try out the new armor that I got. Damn, I don't know why it looks so dark in this arena. Put my lantern on actually. Then I want to try out Radahn's armor. I didn't even put on the other armor sets of all the NPCs. There it is, young. Oh, that is a sick armor set. That is a sick armor set, I'm not gonna lie. So much better than the original one, Star Scourge Radahn. That boss just made Star Scourge Radahn look like a joke. Damn, what a sick armor set. Fat rolling, but looks very sick. I see the Sentry nothing. Just a Sentry Blossom. It's just literally a little flower on your head. So this one gives you more. What was it? FP. Not something I don't need, but that is pretty sick. You can get both of their helmets. Yeah, I think that's literally it for the DLC. I'm gonna go back to my favorite armor set in the whole game. Radahn has been defeated. Every boss except like a couple side bosses. I think like 2 or 3 that I missed somewhere that I'll have to go back and do. Maybe I'll do it on. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it on my own time and just finish that up. Dual Talisman, sick DLC. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Final rating, better than Bloodborne. Best DLC in any game. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the amount of content you get. It's basically a new game at this point. Like, yeah, can't wait to see what From Software does next with their next game coming up. Probably within a couple years, maybe even earlier. Um, they just know how to deliver absolute bangers. It only takes like 3 years to make for them. Sekiro was amazing. This game's amazing. So yeah, whatever they're doing next, just gonna definitely be playing all that stuff day one. The DLC is finally over. It's been like exactly 1 week since I came out, and yeah, it's been literally better than what I expected, to be honest. Just like the base game, exceeded expectations.